Our son was in the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at Children's Hospital of Orange County for 3 weeks because of complications right after he was born. When he was born, he was breathing, but he was totally limp, unresponsive, didn't wake up. So obviously something was really wrong with him, but we had no idea what, because my pregnancy was healthy, the labor didn't have any sort of indications of distress. So we were totally confused and overwhelmed by the problems that we were suddenly facing.
The day I found out my daughter was diagnosed with periventricular leukomalacia, I felt like I got run over by a truck. It was very difficult to eat and swallow. You have a sense of hopelessness and not knowing what's to, coming in the future and what's to be expected. It was very hard to swallow for both my husband and I, and we had no idea how we were going to handle it.
When we first learned that he was going to have a lifelong disability, cerebral palsy, we had no idea what that meant. And it was totally isolating because nobody that we knew had any similar experience to this. And it was totally overwhelming because all of a sudden we were thrown into this medical situation that we had no knowledge of, no understanding of. Cerebral palsy, what does it mean?
I feel strongly that the early intervention will provide my son the opportunity to overcome the disabilities associated with Down syndrome.
My daughter is 3.5 months old. Her name is Tierney, and she's a child with Down syndrome. And when we got that diagnosis, we made the decision to keep the baby. And then I had the baby at Mission Hospital, and we were contacted by the Down Syndrome Society. And the first time we went to the Down Syndrome Society meeting, she was 2.5 weeks, and they referred us to this program.
We found out about the Assistant League program when we went to a meeting at the Down Syndrome Society. My wife and I were speaking with some of the other parents and heard about this great program, and after a few phone calls and a few weeks on the waiting list, we were lucky enough to get into the program.
Ashley was diagnosed with massive hydrocephalus at 5 months in utero, so prior to having her we knew that there were going to be some issues. And we had the unique benefit of meeting some families with similar diagnoses, and that's how we found out about EIP.
A newborn child with developmental delays may be diagnosed with a variety of conditions: Down syndrome, prematurity at birth, cerebral palsy, or other medical conditions. The Assistance League of Laguna Beach's Early Intervention Program provides group-based therapy for developmentally delayed infants and their parents. Our professional staff, therapists, teachers, and behavioral specialists from the Intervention Center for Early Childhood make specific recommendations for each child and work with the parents to ensure their child's optimal development. Parents who have children with special needs often feel isolated, overwhelmed, and uncertain about their child's development and future. EIP places extreme importance on parental needs and concerns. Parents are involved in a parent support group where they are able to share their concerns and insights with others who are on a similar journey. They can reach out for help and realize that they are not alone. One of the important components of EIP is that we let our parents know that their child has a future as great as their unique talents. We are giving them the opportunity to start to make a new dream for their child's future. The Gross Motor Station is one of 5 stations that participants rotate through each morning. Each station focuses on different developmental areas and activities. The Gross Motor Station focuses on physical development, from lifting the head, to sitting, to crawling, pulling to stand, and walking. Gross motor development is important to do in a sequence as children develop strength and coordination to achieve mobility. Here, in a playful setting, our parents, therapists, and babies engage in activities that spark the imagination and encourage developmental progress. The focus is on learning skills through the use of all the senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and experience through movement. Babies are encouraged to use their hands to explore various toys and to learn about the world. Oral exploration is typically a baby's first experience in the world, being a source of nutrition and providing a great deal of information. Many of our children experience difficulties in this area, either as a result of impaired sensory processing and/or problems coordinating the muscles needed for this activity. Many of these skills are precursors to speech development. In this station, parents are given hands-on instruction in a variety of oral motor therapy and feeding techniques. During the cognitive communication session, parents and children play together. They shake, bang, and jiggle toys to make them work. Together, they explore different ways to play and, at the same time, develop learning concepts that will help them as they grow and develop. The parents discover ways to help their children learn better. The parents next are relieved by member volunteers from the Assistance League of Laguna Beach and Los Niños Auxiliary, while the parents get some quiet time in a support group with a marriage family therapist. The volunteers hold and rock the children or push them in strollers while the parents are with the therapists. The marriage counselors and family therapists assist parents in discussing the issues involved in parenting and caring for a child with special needs. Here, the parents are able to form supportive relationships with other parents who are experiencing similar challenges. In every case, we are here to support our families, to make the most of every moment of life for their special child.
The program has been very beneficial to my wife and myself. Being in an environment with parents in a similar situation to us and being able to interact with them, ask questions and feedback about everybody's situation has been very helpful.
Coming here was our first experience in the special needs community. It was our first experience having people help us to be the kind of parents that we were going to need to be, beyond changing diapers and feeding him, but all of the other special tasks and responsibilities that we were going to have. And it was a safe, welcome, comfortable environment where people genuinely cared about us and genuinely cared about our son, helping him.
Having access to programs like EIP, first of all, allowed us to reach a level of acceptance early on, in terms of feeling like this wasn't a huge hurdle to get over. I mean, it's scary enough to get a diagnosis like that about your child before they're born. But then to find out about programs like this and then come to programs like this where there's such a significant parent support, there's exposure to all the different therapies you're going to be doing possibly throughout your child's life, you just gain a level of acceptance earlier on. And I think it's allowed us to take on challenges that we might not have taken on.
The program has helped my husband and I because it helped us cope. Like I said, being together with a group of women in the same situation gave me the opportunity to express what was going on within myself that I'd been holding back for so long. I didn't have the opportunity to talk to anybody, and getting that out was my release. So when I was able to talk to my husband at the end of the day, I was able to explain things better to him and in a more understanding way, and he was able to accept it, and it basically brought us to acceptance, which is a very important step for children with special needs.
Progress-wise, it's amazing. I mean, when he was 6 months old, he was still very he wasn't mobile. He was, obviously he was very he was still an easy baby, but development-wise, he still had so much to do, and since coming here, with just mainly the feeding issues and the gross motor have just taken off. It's amazing. We actually have a 1-year-old that crawls on the floor, and it's just been huge to actually be able to see that much of a change just even in such a small time.
If I could only tell you like how bad it was before I started coming here, and then now being able to know that she can live a good life, it makes it so much easier.
As a parent of a child with special needs, I think this program is necessary throughout the country. It has been so key to our success as parents and to our child.
I would like to thank the Assistance League with all my heart for providing the early intervention program for my son and for me. It has been life-changing. It has given me hope and knowledge and power that I did not think I would be able to have. And my son is so much better than he was when we first started coming here. I am so much better than I was when we first started coming here. There are not enough words to express my gratitude for this program.
Thank you so much. This program has done so much for not only my son, but for me and my husband as well.
I'd like to thank the Assistant League for giving us the confidence to know that we can help Ryan have a normal life.
I cannot thank the Assistance League of Laguna Beach enough.
Thank you very much, Assistance League.
Thank you, Assistance League.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Assistance League.